Yo, welcome to the channel and go to my Discord link in the description below and let's get into this fire video. And yeah, Minato Namikaze's father is Madara Uchiha, and Madara kept it a secret of having a wife. And then when she died, he had the baby or the child become an orphan, but nobody knows that he is an Uchiha because Madara at that point felt abandoned by the Uchiha clan and did not want his offspring going to that wretched clan because he's angry at the clan. And so with that, Naruto is a 25% Uchiha of Madara's line and 25 Namikaze, and he's half Uzumaki as we know from original. And so he would have, well, a 25% increase in chakra because Uchihas have, they have strong visual prowess and they have, clan chakra. Like Sasuke already had tons of chakra in original. Well, not tons, but you know what I mean. You like more chakra than a normal genin, more than average. Also, with this, Naruto could potentially awaken the Rinnegan with no outside help, having both Ashura and Indra's chakra, because he's a reincarnation and he's from Madara's line, and Madara is he has the Indra chakra, basically. 13 years later, forced of death. Naruto Uzumaki, the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, is rushing at Orochimaru in his Kyuubi state, and Orochimaru traps him in his hands, and the boy of red eye watches in horror as Orochimaru's hands glow purple. He goes towards his chest, then something resonates inside of Naruto. As he sees his mindscape, he looks around, then he sees the Naitos and jumps back in fear. Why am I here? And then a burst of chakra comes out of Naruto, and he doesn't know what's happening. Then his eyes start forming red. Then two commas appear in each eye, and the Nine-Tails says, "This chakra, it reminds me of that man." And then he thinks, is this boy related to that man? He thought in horror. And then Naruto, in the outside world, feels his eyes burning. But his eyes start spinning, and Orochimaru gets hypnotized from the spinning red two commas in his eye. And so then Naruto gets to punch Orochimaru, but after that split second, Orochimaru gains back consciousness, thinking, what was that? And thinks, it might have just been that Uchiha breath, Satsuki-kun. And then he proceeds to charge at the Uchiha. The fight goes the same, and so does everything else till Naruto versus Kiba fights. Naruto walks down grinning, thinking he can beat Kiba, while everyone else thinks he will lose, and was lucky to even make it this far. Then Kiba says, "You should have gave up while you can," and Naruto yells, "No way, dog breath." Then they charge at each other, which Kiba beats up Naruto with his fang over fang with Akamaru. Naruto gets practically tossed around the arena, everyone watching, and Rookie 9 grimacing, and some of them grinning, knowing Naruto was lucky to even make it this far. And so then Naruto does his trick, and so he transforms into Akamaru, tricking Kiba, which people call him ingenious for that, or a smart play by Naruto. And so then he gets punched in the transformation, then a huge smoke surrounds it, and Kiba gets attacked, getting bitten, and he transforms into Naruto, who punches him back, with Kiba getting angry at Naruto. Then sees what he did to Akamaru. Kiba saw, and Naruto grins as everyone looks in amazement, and then people think Naruto actually created a strategy to get Kiba trapped. And Kiba looks in anger, and then Naruto. And then he says, I'll still become Hokage. Your tricks won't work. Kiba grins. And Naruto grins, I don't care. This is my Uzumaki's secret technique as he gathers chakra. No one sees but two commas and red eyes appear. His emerald blue eyes going to red. And then when Kiba is by sweat behind him, he farts. And so then everyone face faults, thinking that's Naruto for you. And so Naruto grins, I don't know what that was, but okay. As his red eyes gleam, the third Hokage caught this and thinks he has the Sharingan, he thought, and thinks so is he in Uchiha, and thinks it looks like he doesn't know that he has a legendary copy will eye, and thinks this will raise hell with the elders. Then Naruto proceeds to start his Uzumaki barrage, and everyone sees his clone hit Kiba and slam him down, but for some reason it has more coordination and more finesse than usual he should. His hits hit where it hurts Kiba more than it usually would, making him knocked out even longer in this one. And everyone looks in awe at the power, and Naruto puts his hand back in his Keiji no Bushin sign, and his eyes go back to its sky blue. Then Hiruzen thinks this is not good. He has a Sharingan, and if he has this, we couldn't control him if we wanted to, he thought. And then thinks Danzo will get mad. I will have to keep him away from the leaf for this month somehow. The rest goes the same for this, and Naruto goes to Kakashi for training, but the man hands him over to Ibisu, but Naruto sees the third Hokage appear in front of him. As the Hokage got summoned by Danzo, figuring it out already that the Kyuubi brat has the Sharingan. The man smiles. I have him for now, thank you, and Ibisu looks shocked, but then grins. The Hokage will kill the Kyuubi brat, probably the Jonin Council summoned to kill him. And so then they disappear in smoke, and they appear in the Jonin Council area. And then he smiles, and then a man comes from the shadows, striking pose. I am the myth, the legend, the legendary, the woman trapper, the woman magnet, Jiraiya of the Sunning. And they all sit down with Naruto looking excited, seeing that this man looks strong or sounds strong, but then face faults. He's an idiot. And so then he says, so you guys elected me to be the next Hokage, Naruto said, and grinning with his eyes closed. Everyone face falls, thinking, why do you think that? And Jiraiya behind the boy bust out laughing, patting the kid over his back. Man, that's a funny one, kid. And so then Hiruzen chuckles. Then the room gets quiet, feeling the eerily presence of all the shinobi in the room. And then Hiruzen speaks up in his Hokage voice. Naruto Uzumaki, you are an Uchiha. And so Naruto looks confused and so asks, so wait, I'm related to Sasuke, Baka? And Hiruzen nods in a way. And so Hiruzen says, so when we found this out, I had our top medical ninja of the leaf investigate, seeing which Uchiha are you related to. Because you weren't part of the Uchiha clan, and so we don't know what family of the Uchiha you're from. And so Naruto nods. And so I checked all of them. You aren't related to any of the Uchiha who died. And Naruto looks confused, then who am I related to? And so Hiruzen says, so we used an old sample in the Clan Wars age. We only have these people's blood only because um they did a blood test, and we only had a sample to test, and that's all we had. So we took a gamble using Madara and Izuna's Uchiha's um chakra, and see if you're part of the legendary brothers line. And the funny thing is, you're related to Madara Uchiha and Izuna Uchiha 100%. But the thing is, you're mostly aligned with Madara. So we deduced that your grandfather is the ghost of the Uchiha clan. Madara Uchiha, he says. And all the Jonin in the room are quiet. And Danzo starts squirming in his chair. And then he starts laughing. And then Jiraiya, seeing this, thinks what's wrong with him. Then, in a quick air of confidence, Jiraiya says, I want to apprentice Naruto Uzumaki Uchiha, as Danzo glares at him. And he reasons says, I accept the offer. Naruto Uzumaki Uchiha, after the Chunin exams, will go under Toad-san and Jiraiya. And Naruto says, wait, Sanin, is that guy related to Orochimaru who tries to stick his hands on my belly? And the Jonin get a little shook. What do you mean? And so then Naruto says, not noticing, his hands were glowing this purple chakra. And then he was saying five-pronged seal, but something happened. And the Jonin deduced the Sharingan stopped him and nodded. And Jiraiya care he will be the best with the Kyobi Jinchuriki. And so Naruto goes with Jiraiya for the month of the Chunin exams, the training. Naruto says, so what are we going to train? And the man grins, everything. You're a horrible ninja. And Naruto pouts, but then Jiraiya states, but your Sharingan and your tons of chakra reserves, we can get you to my apprentice level in a month. He grins. And then he says, we will also fix your horrendous taijutsu, add to your ninjutsu, and get started on your Sharingan hypnosis. And finally, a secret holding out his pinky finger. And then the Tosanin grins. For the next week, we will train in chakra control. And Naruto glares at him. And then he starts by falling in the hot water, saying, ouch, ouch, ouch. 1 week later, Naruto finished by getting to the other side and grins. And Jiraiya grins back at him. Now, week 2, we will see your chakra natures and use your Sharingan to watch and learn jutsu faster and try to get these jutsu done in 5 days, and also work on your shuriken jutsu. And so Naruto takes the piece of paper from Jiraiya, and Jiraiya grants a chakra paper. Now put your chakra through it, and then the chakra splits in half, and then it burns the flames. And Jiraiya grants, you have a wind chakra nature and a fire chakra nature. Fire was expected since you're in a Uchiha, and then he says, I'll be teaching you 2 jutsu that you could combine with if you have good ingenuity. Great fireball jutsu and wind style gale palm. You will use your Sharingan with this training, and it could also help your Sharingan for you to use it longer, because since Naruto had that chakra control training, he would be able to control his usage with the Sharingan more. And since he's a natural born Uchiha, it doesn't give him that big depletion like Kakashi because he has the body for it. But he still won't be how do I say this? He still won't have the best chakra control, but he still has that Uchiha chakra control a bit, I guess. But it's still not to the best level he could. And so, with his new chakra control, he would be able to use the Sharingan longer. But using the Sharingan, well, now longer for like a whole week, this could help him a lot with his endurance, basically. That's what I'm saying. And so then, 1 week later, Naruto finished his two jutsu with a great fireball jutsu and pants a little. Then the toad sign and grins. It's been 2 weeks now. For 1 week and 4 days, we will work on your taijutsu and genjutsu with your Sharingan. And then Naruto nods happily and gets started with the training. 1 week and 3 days later, and he'll meet off with Gara for the, well, 3 day for like the 4 days they have because there's 7 days in a week. Yeah, for like the other week. Yeah, there's 3 days in a week. Yes, sir. And so then, getting 3 days off. Oh, no, 4 days off of the exam. Naruto walks in the arena grinning. He has learned a lot from Jiraiya Sensei. And then Neji says, "You will not win, no matter what." And Naruto grins as he reads and nods to the world. The Sharingan is in another one. And yeah. And now the Sharingan's in 3 people, and then everyone looks shocked at the two Tomoe Sharingan. My grandfather is Madara Uchiha. That's how I have this. And so, with that, everyone is will shock and thinks the grandson of Madara. And then they think the demon child is related to the. No, he's the grandson of the ghost of the Uchiha clan, Madara. And then they scream lies, but Hiruzen stands up, and the fake Kazekage sees Hiruzen's eyes and thinks it's true as his eyes widen. Hiruzen says it's true, making everyone silent. And then the people clap, and Sakura is in shock, and the whole Rookie Nine at that is. And then Asuma dropped his cigar also. He's shocked. Naruto Uzumaki is Madara's grandson. Naruto grins and Neji says, You're once a failure, you're always a failure. Your grandfather does not affect you," charging at Naruto with a high-speed attack. But at the last second, Naruto dodges, punching Neji away with the right hook. And then Naruto grins, "Shadow Clone Jutsu," as the crowd watches the clone fight coordinated and building off each other's attacks. Then Neji takes them down, but got hit a little, and then gets pushed into a corner with Naruto's clone surrounding him. Naruto then says, I have a secret attack I've been working on for this month. You're not ready for this," he grins. And Neji looks at Naruto challenging. You were always a class dope and a failure. What can you do?" And so then Naruto looks in anger. And so then he says, "Cage Bunshin no Jutsu," and Neji says, "You always had that. What are you working on? Like, are you dumb?" Thinking that the boy's, well, stupid. And so then half the clones yell 10, well, yeah, half of 20 is 10 if you didn't know. Half of them yell "Great Fireball Jutsu," and the other half yells "Wind Style Gale Palm." And so, as the crowd watches in awe, as the two attacks combine at inside each other, and so then they mix. And so the Naruto himself, to direct the ball, yells Gale Palm, pushing the attack forwards at Neji, who looks in fear. And so then Naruto yells Uzumaki style Supernova as the huge fire attack goes at Neji, but the boy rotates, trying to get the fireball away, as the shielded chakra is able to block most of it, but he couldn't spin. He was getting tired of spinning, and so the fire attack gave him a first-degree burn on the arm. Neji wincing in pain. Then the crowd looks in awe, and he actually thinks This fight can go either way, he thinks. But grins. Neji showed him that the Hyuga clan is superior than the Uchiha clan. Then Naruto smiles. That's for Hinata. And Neji glares. Do you know why I hate the main branch? Then he goes on to explain the main branch and the, well, branch family. And Naruto says Hinata's never done anything to you, so it's not her fault. And then Neji looks at him seriously. I will defeat you. Charging, Neji glares 64 palms, hitting Naruto. And everyone thinks it's over. And Tenten says Neji won. It's just, he's too strong for you. You came far, but you're not strong enough. Naruto grits his teeth, getting on shakily legs, and starts charging chakra as the evil chakra starts surrounding him. And Hiruzen thinks, Jiraiya, did you really go this far on your training with Naruto? And then Naruto charges up with his feet cracking under, well, his feet. And so Neji looks in fear as he sees two Tomoe under the red chakra. And Hiruzen thinks the Kyuubi chakra with the Sharingan. Let's see it. Naruto charges with the chakra form as he outspeeds Neji, dodging his strikes with his Eye of Insight with the Sharingan and his Kyuubi chakra. He's basically unbeatable. And so with the last seconds, Naruto changes the trajectory of his strikes, hitting Neji, bullying him into the ground. And so Naruto, with the Kyuubi chakra till it runs out, defeats Neji, punching him into the ground. And then Naruto chakra runs out as he pants, and Neji passed out. And as Naruto's declared the winner. Right when Naruto had the Kyuubi chakra, he was basically in control and unbeatable in the attacks and, well, the match. And so the rest of the matches go the same, with Sasuke not knowing of Naruto's heritage yet, but Kakashi finding out surprised at first, till Naruto showed him his two Tomoe to show proof. And so Naruto chases Sasuke the same. He chases Sasuke. And so then, when the fight commences, Sasuke figures out that Naruto is an Uchiha from Sakura and is surprised, and angry on the outside, but in the inside, he's glad that he finally has a brother, or something like that. But is surprised that he's related to the ghost of the Uchiha clan. And so Naruto yells, then Naruto yells Shadow Clone Jutsu, making 50 Shadow Clones, and then he says, and so then half of them yell Great Fireball Jutsu, and half of them yell Gale Palm, and so then Naruto uses his overcharged Gale Palm. And so then it directs to Gaara, which Gaara can't dodge because the supernova's big and wide. It's like literally a supernova, but not actually a supernova, if you know what I mean. And so Gaara has to take it basically, but his sand blocks it, but it just breaks through and hits Gaara into a tree. And he says, Uzumaki style, supernova. And so Sasuke grits his teeth at the strength, but smiles a little. And so, with this, Naruto, he's defeating Neji. Yeah. And so, Naruto, with his defeating of, Neji, not Neji, of Gaara there, Gaara gets back up, even more enraged, and charges at Naruto in anger. With that, the fight, Naruto mainly will dominates with his clones and his Sharingan with his clones. Naruto is able to push the match, and when Gaara traps him in the Shukaku thing like usual, he just summons Gambabunta since he did for 1 week train with that, and he just used the Kyuubi chakra again, charging it up, and he is in a life or death situation. And like Jiraiya threw him in that pit for that last week. And so for that last week, he didn't train it in his Genjutsu training. But he will eventually get to that training eventually with Jiraiya. Well, Jiraiya's not really a Genjutsu expert, but he does know a little on it. And they will take some things from Madara's Uchiha vaults. So, you see, Madara left some Uchiha stuff in the leaf. And so Naruto, that is Naruto's inheritance, and he will eventually get that Madara's jutsu and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And so, with that, Naruto is now, the match goes really the same for the rest of it with the Shukaku fight. Well, you could say Naruto uses Gale Palm to help out Gambabunta, which gives him an edge against Shukaku, but that's really it, I guess. And so, yeah. And with that, Naruto has defeated Gaara. And so, with Jiraiya now being having his apprentice Naruto gets announced to the public, and the public has a better opinion of Naruto since he's also their last Uchiha, and they heard how he defeated the Ichibi Jinchuriki Gaara, their strongest weapon, as people will talk about that because he's not just the Kyuubi brat anymore, as he is literally the one of the last Uchiha, and you could say Naruto and Sasuke could have like this moment of them bonding or something, or relating to them finally being related, and they finally having a family. And so Naruto, yeah, you could say Naruto goes on to also will wear the Uchiha crest because Sasuke wanted him to. Being an Uchiha, Naruto should be proud of his clan. So yeah. And so with that, when Naruto chases after Naruto, he wants to chase after Naruto because he doesn't want Itachi to kill his brother once he already had him. Because they view each other, they have a bigger bond in this one. That's what I'm trying to say. And so he chases after Naruto because it's his brother in Sasuke's eyes. And so with that, Sasuke arrives, and Naruto and Sasuke actually team up in this one, with them both using their Sharingan. And with this, Naruto is able to defend against Itachi more until Jiraiya arrives, and Jiraiya takes him down as usual. And then Jiraiya starts teaching Naruto the Rasengan, while Sasuke tells Naruto, we have to promise to get stronger and beat Itachi. And Naruto smiles and nods. He doesn't really have a grudge against Itachi, but he knows it's really important to Sasuke, and he did slaughter his clan technically, but his grandfather was kicked out the clan, so it's kind of weird, you know. But yeah, Naruto just goes with the flow, and so Naruto uses his Sharingan to learn the Rasengan a little, but then Jiraiya tells him to stop. He has to learn things not just with his Sharingan. And so Naruto learns that he can't always cheat to do what he does. And so, yeah, Naruto, yeah. So, well, now with Naruto using that Sharingan a little, it boosts his progress. So when he faces Tsunade, the ball doesn't collapse at the last second. He actually almost gets the hit, but she hits it down. And Tsunade yells at Jiraiya, "What are you doing teaching that brat that jutsu?" And so Tsunade scolds Jiraiya for thinking that he's a fool for what he done. And so, Naruto, he basically learns it, but since he will learn it faster during this week, he actually gets it with one hand, which will help him out later on. And since he also got the basic skills of a ninja during this week, he's better, you could say. And so they face Kabuto, and when Naruto faces off against Kabuto, he makes his shadow clones with his Sharingan, and he gets into a fight with his Sharingan and clones. And so with this, Naruto is able to dodge Kabuto's chakra scalpels more because he can see the chakra in his hands. And so with his Sharingan, it helps him out to fight Kabuto. And with that, Naruto, instead of making his fingers bleed, he charges out Rasengan, hitting Kabuto into the chest. And since he's not as open as usual, Kabuto only hits him on the arm, still hurting Naruto, and has to get healed by Tsunade. And so, while she's healing him, she gets her resolution against fighting Orochimaru, who wants to kill Naruto even more because of a threat he is. And so they have their signing fight as usual, and Naruto becomes a Chunin because he gets more recognition and belief for being an Uchiha, not just a Kyuubi brat. And so with this, like, people hear that he fought one of Orochimaru's lackeys and beat him for a bit, but he recovered. And so, some of them congratulate him because Naruto would, like, tell Sasuke this mostly. And so also, since, Sasuke's more protective of Naruto for being his brother, he probably wouldn't allow Sakura to bully him like she usually would because it's Sasuke, and you know how he gets. And so, basically, Team 7 will be disbanded a bit with they going their own way with Sakura asking to get training by Tsunade. And that's it for this one. Hope you liked it, and go like and subscribe, and see you later.